Greetings. It's great to be here today, and my name is Mindy Feldbaum. I'm the Vice President of Workforce Programs at the AARP Foundation. The Foundation, if you're not familiar, is a charitable affiliate of AARP, and we have a bold goal of ending senior poverty. We have this goal because 37 million older adults, 1 in 3, either are living in poverty or at risk of falling in poverty. Our mission is to serve older adults with low income by creating and advancing effective solutions that help them secure the essentials, create pathways to economic opportunity, and we have a focus on equitable outcomes. At the Foundation, one of the ways we open the doors to economic opportunity is through workforce programs. I think I have a clicker somewhere here, but not sure where it is. Do you have the next slide? For over 55 years, we've been supporting unemployed older workers to help them get back to work, help them start a business, build their confidence, and getting them on the pathway to economic opportunity. Next slide. We do this through our series of programs, our signature programs, and one which we'll talk about today, which is the Senior Community Service Employment Program, which helps low-income older adults obtain community service, paid community service work experience to learn the skills and competencies needed to get good jobs. We're the largest provider in the nation. We're in 19 states, and we're in 23 counties in North Carolina, and on average, we serve about 300 participants a year. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We also have Back to Work and Work for Yourself programs, which provide job search coaching and training, as well as exploration of self-employment opportunities, such as gig work, entrepreneurship, and small business development. We have 2 program partners in North Carolina. And our newest initiative is Digital Skills Ready at 50+, where we're training 25,000 older adults in basic literacy skills, digital literacy skills in 8 states. And North Carolina is one of our focus states. So currently we have 12 partners, and we're recruiting more if you're interested. So now that I told you a little bit about the Foundation, I'd like to talk a few minutes about a major workforce trend and older workers. You know that there's major workforce trends, and everyone certainly thinks of technology, but longevity has major implications for the workforce. As you know, and we're all aware, we're living longer and healthier longer. Our average life expectancy is now 78.2 and growing. The 100-year-old life is now, for those that are born now. Longer lives mean people need to find a way to financially support themselves for longer, and currently 34% of the workforce is over 50. We now have 5 generations in the workforce, and this is likely to remain for the foreseeable future as lifespans expand and the birth rates go down, as we've been learning about today. And so although older workers are the fastest growing segment of the workforce, unfortunately our systems and mindsets have not kept pace. And even in a tight labor market, there's 1 million unemployed older adults that are 55, and many more that have given up from looking and don't show up in any statistic. And yet many older workers want to work and have the skills, experience, and work ethic. But they face many challenges. I'll just name a few. One of the primary barriers for older workers is ageism. It's alive and well, and it's a barrier to getting people employed as well as in the workplace. 62% of 50-plus-year-old workers saw and experienced age discrimination at work, and 1 in 6 believe they weren't hired due to ageism in the last 2 years. But all of us, age is the one aspect of diversity that we all share, but it's layered with other elements of our identities. And unfortunately, AARP research has showed that the intersection of age, gender, race, and sexual orientation can compound the experience of age discrimination. Further, when older workers become unemployed, they tend to take twice as long to get back employed, and they often make less than their new job than their previous one. Low-income older adults lack access to many programs. We're so lucky to talk about CSEP here today, but it only serves less than 1% of those in need. And without programs to access, that limits their ability to get new skills, upskill or reskill, which in this environment, the shelf life of skills change very rapidly, and also limits their ability to get trusted advisors who can help them with a complex labor market and a kind of learning system that's hard to translate. But most of these challenges can be addressed if older adults are able to learn as long as they want or they need to work. And there's greater access to upskilling opportunities and mindset changes. So beyond that, there's a strong business case for age diversity and multi-generational workforce. Multi-generational teams perform better. Age-diverse workforce provides more insights into marketplace and consumers. There's a stronger pipeline of talent with providing continuity, stability, and retention of intellectual capital. And part of that stability is we know that older workers have lower turnover rates. And businesses, finally, with more older workers have higher productivity per employee. So with that, we easily have the statistics and the research to show the value and benefit of hiring older workers. But now let's turn to Med Leggette and Twilla Allen to see it in action. Thank you. So first off, Med and Twilla, I'd love you to introduce yourself to the audience and say what your role is.
My name is Med Leggette. I'm the receptionist at Lumber River Council of Governments. I'll answer the phone mainly for the aging department of our business.
Great. And Twilla?
Good afternoon. My name is Twilla Allen. I serve as the Aging Program Administrator with the Lumber River Council of Governments. We are regional in planning, and we also have a workforce development department.
Great. Well, thank you both for joining today. Med, I'm going to start with you. What were some of your workforce challenges before you connected to the CSEP program?
Before I connected to the program, I was told that I was too old. I go apply for some jobs, and I was too old because they couldn't afford to pay the insurance for me. But then I learned about the CSEP program for older workers, and I was lucky enough to, I was assigned to Robeson County Administration. And while I was there, I learned, I got more familiar with using the computer, all office equipment, and different things that happens in human resources at a local level. And I enjoyed it, and I tried to do a good job. And Hurricane Matthew came along, which interrupted my training. But after Matthew, I got back in with the training and stuck with the job and was eventually hired permanently by the Aging Department in Lumber River Council of Governments.
Great. That's awesome. And Twilla, how did you connect to the CSEP program, and what were your kind of workforce challenges, and how did it help your organization?
We've been very fortunate at the Area Agency on Aging to have a long-term partnership with CSEP through the State Unit on Aging, which is the North Carolina Division of Aging and Adult Services. So we've always valued the contributions that older adults have in the workplace. The majority of our role is to provide services to those individuals, but to be able to be on the side of being able to recruit the talent, with example, Mr. Med, and we've had other departments that have also benefited from the CSEP program, but it's been able to find those individuals that are eager to work, that show up, that are on time, that are eager to learn new skills, and have great customer service. Mr. Med has been a little bashful. He actually responds to at least 50 to 100 calls a day. And those calls can be from an elected official, from a mayor, a county commissioner, a town clerk, and he always provides great customer service and directs that call to where it needs to be.
All right.
So that's terrific. So Med, tell us the journey now that you were unemployed, went into the CSEP program, gained community service work experience, and now being fully employed. Tell me how that's changed for you, your life, both work and personally.
Well, I enjoy the people I work with, and Hurricane Matthew had a lot to do with the work that I do. Just before the lockdown, I broke my partials and haven't been able to go to the dentist or anything. And now that I've been hired permanently, with dental insurance, vision insurance, my life will be a lot easier and I'll be able to smile more.
That's awesome. Twilla, what would you want to, I just talked about the benefits in general of older workers, the value, but you're living it firsthand, and so what would you want to tell the audience about the value of older workers, or what do you see from your perspective?
I think part of your question I failed to answer was some of the barriers. We are a direct service provider, and we've noticed that some of our jobs stay vacant for 6 months or longer. Being a direct service provider, we need those hands-on skills, those good people skills in order to provide services to older adults. I would just say be open to the concept. We have a lot of talent that are there, recently retired. We talked about North Carolina is aging. When those individuals leave the full-time sector, they may still want to work part-time or full-time, like Mr. Med, and he's 76 years young. Give you a hand with that one. But again, just having that reliability. When we go through interviews, we're constantly focusing on responsibility, being a self-starter. And we don't necessarily see that a lot, but again, we've noticed with our older adult employees, they come with that mentality every day. They come dressed, they're professional, they're neat, they're eager to learn new skills, so don't be afraid if someone doesn't have exactly everything that you're looking for. With Mr. Med, he has learned a brand new telephone system within our organization, being able to transfer 4 calls maybe at one time. He's also our first point of contact. So again, he is actually the face of our organization, and being able to give good customer services is, to me, very important.
All right.
And they always say that, for employers, whether it's a public sector or private sector employer, that the employability skills that older workers bring that you're describing is what's lacking sometimes, and so training them for the actual job is the easier part if you find the right people. So that's great. Med, if you have anything you'd like to say to the group about hiring older workers from your perspective, or anything you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I can say that people my age, a lot of people my age don't want to work, but the ones my age that do want to work will be there 15 to 20 minutes before time.
That's true.
And be willing to stay after time, Well, we just enjoy being out.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, so with that, I just want to thank you both. I think you see firsthand, first of all, the power of a program like the Senior Employment Community Service Program, which serves thousands of older workers every year, but there's a big need. So the investment in programs that allow for paid work experience in particular is very unusual these days. but also seeing the power of employment and getting a job, whether you're 50 or 80. So I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.